So up until this point, we have mapped the characters from our story to the technical OAuth 2 roles, and we have also aligned the real-world scenario with the standard OAuth 2 flow. Now let's quickly recap these roles to solidify our understanding. Resource owner. This is the entity that owns the data and resources being accessed. The resource owner has the power to grant or deny permissions for data access. Client. The client is the application or entity that requests access to the resources on behalf of the resource owner. Clients can be a third-party application, like a single-page application running in a browser, known as a public client. A backend server or enterprise application, known as a confidential client. We will dive deeper into the different types of clients in a later lesson, where we will discuss when and how to use each type effectively. In essence, Alex as the resource owner is like the property owner who controls access to his assets. Sam as the client is like the trusted brother who needs permission to manage those assets on Alex's behalf. Resource server. The resource server hosts the protected resources and data that the client wants to access. Its primary role is to validate the access tokens that the client presents before allowing access to the resources. If the token is valid, the resource server grants access to the requested data or performs the requested actions. Authorization server. The authorization server is responsible for authenticating the resource owner. It ensures that the resource owner's identity is verified before any access is granted. Once the resource owner is authenticated, the authorization server issues access tokens to the authorized clients. These tokens serve as a form of proof that the client has permission to access the resource owner's resources on their behalf. In essence, the authorization server is like the trusted notary who verifies identities and issues notarized documents, while the resource server is like the authority that checks these documents before allowing any actions to be carried out. Now that we have covered the OAuth 2 roles and standard flow, it's time to see it all in action. In our next lesson, I will demonstrate everything we have learned using a photo editing application and OneDrive. We will walk through each step of the process, showing how OAuth 2 works behind the scenes to keep your data secure. So let's get ready to bring everything we have covered so far to life.